Dear friends, let's start. We will spend about a minute at least regarding the agenda. So in the meantime, the other friends of us can join us.
Yes.
Okay. Dear friends, the agenda of today's meeting is here. I mean, this is the draft agenda, of course. I will start reading from number 2, and then if you do have any other additional agenda items to propose, we can add it. So the first presentation will be by dear Klaus Samber. It will be about the ECI, European Citizens Initiative, the UBI campaign under the umbrella of the ECI, let me say this way, in which 27 European Union countries are participating. And the second or the third item in the agenda is the simultaneous independent signature collection campaigns. Each our friends, if they are present here, they will make very short briefings. You have the list there, and then I will try to say a few words about the starting point or the concept of working group number 53, which is the simultaneous independent signature collection campaigns. Then we will hear news from working groups and news from UBI advocates and UBI networks, especially regarding the 13th International Basic Income Week. I'm sure there are many interesting things happened during that week. Do you have any proposals regarding the agenda? I'm trying to see the hand, so I guess we can continue with this agenda. So I assume that we finished number 1. So we read the agenda and we accepted the agenda. So we will continue with Klaus' presentation. Okay, dear Klaus, I will start sharing your slides.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, dear friends, I will mute you all so that we can easily hear Klaus, including myself.
Ali Mutro?
Yes.
Important news. Antonio Guterres, the General Secretary of the United Nations, has just spoken in the overture of the National Assembly, and he said that the basic income should be considered as a very important tool in all nations. So I'm sorry, but I thought that, the president of the Brazilian Basic Income Network, Leandro Ferreira, has just told me, so I thought it would be important for all of you to know. Later on, we can see the whole speech of Antonio Guterres, that was once Prime Minister of Portugal, and he's a very good defensor of the basic income. That's, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, thank you very much, Eduardo. It was an interesting news. Okay, maybe we can hear details, as you said, afterwards. It will be interesting to listen this. Okay, Klaus, I'm sharing, 1 second. I'm sharing your presentation here. Okay, dear Klaus, word is yours. When you say next slide, I will change to the next slide.
Okay, thank you very much. That I have the opportunity to speak to you. And in this first slide, you find the 5 points which I want to discuss. ECI, Unconditional Basic Income 2020 and 2021. Then I go to the objectives and to the development phases and campaigning countries. And then I go back in the past, ECI, UBI 2013 and 2014, and what we have learned from that, which is perhaps useful for our recent UBI, which we have to start on 25 of September. Please, the first slide. That is exactly the title, Start Unconditional Basic Income UBI throughout the whole EU. And is one of the first European citizen initiatives which use the new system.
I cannot hear you.
Klaus,
Now
you
it's-
muted yourself, I guess. Klaus, please unmute yourself.
Sorry, should I start again? I don't know.
Please start from the beginning of this slide, if you kindly.
From this slide.
Yes, please.
Okay, so Start Unconditional Basic Income UBI throughout the EU is one of the first European citizen initiatives which use a new system for collecting signatures. The Commission register number is, and you see here number 3, it's one of the first. 1 year long, the UBI activists, initiatives and organizations in the EU are asked to support the initiative. With the UBI, the EU will be more just, but in particular, the life of the human beings will be easier. If you go to the next slide, please. The beginning of the collection is 25 of September 2020. That means very soon. And signatures can be collected online, but also in paper form in all European languages. In addition, support can now be expressed using electronic means of identification, such as a national ID card. For the time being, this is possible in the following countries, and I have given it in the order of the alphabet: Belgium, Croatia, Estonia, Germany, Italy, Latvia, Luxembourg, Portugal, Slovakia, and Spain. And Austria is missing, but certainly I will do in the next week an attempt that Austria will also go in this list and that also we can use a national ID card. Please, next slide. The subject matter is now the following. Our aim is to establish the introduction of an unconditional basic income throughout the EU, which ensures every person's material existence and opportunity to participate in society as part of its economic policy. Here the keyword is that we have to think about the economic policy. That was more or less one point why we have succeeded to get the registration. The other point is certainly that the last sentence, the aim shall be reached while remaining within the competence conferred to the EU by the treaties. That is certainly necessary, otherwise we would not get a registration. But please, the next slide. We request the EU Commission to make a proposal for unconditional basic incomes throughout the EU, which reduce regional disparities in order to strengthen the economic, social, and territorial cohesion in the EU. That is now very important because we are saying they should make a proposal, not we. Because in the preamble, we have already a social union, but that is not really realized. And therefore, they should now make a proposal. And that is in the second paragraph. This shall realize the aim of the joint statement by the European Council, the European Parliament, and the European Commission stated in 2013 already, yes? That, and now I make the sentence, the EU and its member states will also support efficient, sustainable, and equitable social protection systems to guarantee basic income in order to combat inequality. That is the objectives. And certainly it is now also important to say, also we have given the task more or less back to the EU to make a proposal. We have also in our registration, if you take the next slide, please, an annex. Yes, the signatories only support the launch of the introduction process, but do not describe to the Commission exactly how the implementation of the UBIs should take place. But, and that is a big but, in our annex, which is included in the registered ECI, the general principles of the UBI, which are unconditionality, universality, individuality, and high enough to ensure a material existence and participation in society, which meets society's social and cultural standards in the country concerned, are described, as well as the provision of the Charter of Fundamental Rights of the EU, the Treaty on European Union, and the Treaty on Functioning of the European Union, which are necessary for an UBI implementation. That means we have said, also we don't make the definitions immediately, but we have referred to the annex where we have given all of what we want already in. And if they take something from that, then it is very easy for them to make a proposal for us. Next slide, please. Little b in this process is the following. If the citizens' initiative receives at least 1 million signatures in EU and in 7 countries or more, a certain threshold, which is given in the new ECI rules, then the initiative is regarded as successful. If this is the case, then we came to little c. In this case, a hearing within 3 months in the EU Parliament will take place, and after that, the Commission has 6 months' time to consider any reaction to the more or less agenda setting of the initiative for this UBI. The Commission may recommend that the Council of the EU formulates a UBI-related draft for the broad guidelines of the economic policies of the Member States and of the Union, and reports its findings to the European Council. And the last point, on the basis of the conclusion of the European Council, the Council of the EU may adopt a recommendation setting out these broad guidelines. That is what we hope. Certainly we cannot be sure that it happens, but at least we think that would be very nice. If we go to the next stage. Now the question, campaigning countries. The ultimate aim is to establish unconditional basic income throughout the European Union in all 27 member states. At the moment, we have national coordinators in 23 countries, and then these 23 countries are given with the abbreviations. Only in Cyprus, Denmark, Latvia, and Poland, national coordinators are not yet available. But certainly we want to come in contact with these countries and look if there is somebody who would take the task of a national coordinator. That means who is responsible that in his country will be collected enough signatures that we altogether would get this 1 million signatures. Yes, please. The next, yes. Now I come into the past, and there the objectives was quite different. Asking the Commission to encourage cooperation between the member states, and then an article is given, aiming to explore the unconditional basic income as a tool to improve their respective social security systems. That is the first point. And then, in the long run, the objective is to offer to each person in the EU the unconditional right as an individual to have his or her materials needs met to ensure a life of dignity as stated in the UN treaties, and to empower participation in society supported by the introduction of the UBI. That was the first part. And then certainly we have the next slide, please. In the short term, we have only asked initiatives such as pilot studies and examination of different models of unconditional basic income. There was already an European Parliament resolution in 2010, should be promoted by the EU. That means we have given a very soft ECI in the first time because we have not yet said, please introduce it, but only study it, more or less. But now we are much more in the second attempt. We ask them to give us really a recommendation how we in all member states could introduce unconditional basic income. Now to the next slide, please. Now we came to the result of this first one. The first ECI on unconditional basic income has not achieved the required 1 million signatures, only 85,000, but 6 countries, and I say Bulgaria, Croatia, Belgium, Netherlands, and Estonia reached their quota, and Hungary came close to reach theirs. That means 6 countries, but not 7. But the most problem was we have not get the 1 million. One reason not to achieve 1 million signatures was we could only start 2 months after the registration, and so we had only 10 months for collecting signatures. This is now changed in the new rules, in the new ECI rules. Now we can decide for the start of the collection time by ourselves if all is prepared for the collection signatures. And that is now certainly the case. On 25th of September, everything is ready and we can really start immediately. The following picture, as an example from Austria, shows the increase in the signatures in the end of the collection time. If you give, please, this, you see the last days, a very big increase, and that was in each country the same. But we have only 10 months, not 12. If you go to the next slide, please. Nevertheless, by this ECI, a network in Europe was built for the UBI movement, and not to lose the dynamic immediately after the end of the period of the ECI, the association Unconditional Basic Income Europe, UBI, was founded on 12th of April 2014. In this way, the basis for the second attempt for an UBI was given and has been used now. And the more or less nearly last page, please. Nowadays, the need for an UBI, and now I speak with words from Guy Standing, UBI is not necessary. It is essential. So, if he made a speech and I haven't heard it first, is not necessary, I was shocked. But the next words, it is essential, was very, very nice. To find the partners for supporting UBI, again, I remember on actions of Guy Standing, who convinced the union in Bulgaria at the end of 2013. And after that, Bulgaria got 30,000 signatures per day. But it was too late to reach the 1 million signatures. Now we have already very much partner movements which will support us in our second ECI on UBI. Let us start with all of them on the 25th of September, exactly on the day of the worldwide strike for important action in the climate crisis. Now, the last page, please. For the new ECI, the activists consider much more success than 1 million signatures due to the raise of awareness about UBI and the enlargement of the network of UBI advocates. Thank you, Ali, for that possibility to speak here by the advocates. Thank you very much for your attention.
Dear Klaus, thank you very much. Dear friends, I am sure you have questions to Klaus, but is it possible to listen Christine first? Because I know that she will be attending to another meeting. In our agenda, let me open the agenda. In our agenda, where was it? Okay. So Klaus made his presentation, but I don't think it's complete because we will ask questions to him. But let's listen Kristen so that she can join to the other meeting that she has to be there. And then we can ask the questions. Klaus, is it okay for you?
Yes, certainly.
Okay, it will be, I guess, less than 5 minutes presentation. Dear Kristen, are you here? I saw you. Okay. So, Kristen, word is yours. Would you like to use any screen share?
No, that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just give a very brief update from the Norwegian campaign since I have about 3 minutes, so I'll speak relatively quickly. So we're doing a campaign that's quite similar to the ECI campaign, so we kind of used that campaign as a template and adapted it to a Norwegian context. So we used kind of a similar structure and a similar content and just adapted it and tweaked it slightly. It's also aimed at individuals for an implementation of UBI in Norway, and it's similar to the ECI campaign. We're also asking, the statement there is that we would like the government to come up with a proposal. So in that regard, it's very similar as well. We are also starting the campaign on the 25th of September and moving 1 year forward from that. We have decided to use Google Forms, most likely. We're looking into the last details in these days, but we'll be using Google Forms because we figured that would be the best way to ensure that we're also compliant with GDPR, because if you have a 1-year subscription for Google using Google Forms, then you can control where the data is stored. So that's our thinking so far. So it looks like we'll be starting the campaign on the date, the 25th. That's all essentially.
Thank you very much, Kristen. Dear friends, if you do have any questions and contributions to the presentation by Klaus or Kristen, Peter Knight. Dear Peter, please.
Yeah, I put in the chat, I would love to see that list of the countries of the EU that hadn't yet found a contact, but I put names for Malta and Denmark from our global map of UBI networks. There's contacts there to approach, I would suppose, both BN affiliates, I think. So if you're looking for someone to contact, maybe you could start with them. I couldn't see the others. I was going to search for them. What are the other 4 or 5 countries that were, I didn't write them down.
Cyprus, Poland.
Cyprus.
Poland, Denmark.
Oh,
and Latvia.
Latvia, okay. Well, let's just have a quick peek. Poland, we have no one, but Latvia, I believe.
Okay. Any other friends who would like to add or ask questions to dear Klaus? I have a few points, but I better wait. Oh, dear Reinhard, please.
Yeah, hello, Klaus. First, congratulations on the initiative and very good, clear presentation. I have got 3 comments, questions. I think one important effect of a UBI would also be that there would be an increased interest of citizens in the EU, which I think is an important issue, especially in view of what happened with the United Kingdom. So I think many people, as far as I can tell from Germany also, are not really interested or really concerned about the EU. And once the EU citizens' income would be available, I think the interest in the EU would increase rapidly. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you? Yeah, yeah. And the second point is linked to this one, and the third one is what is there any discussion about the level of the UBI which the EU should aim for? Because I mean, Pan Paris has made several proposals. Should it be more interesting for the lower income countries in the EU, or would it be an average, or is this not discussed? And linked to that is, I wasn't quite sure whether this would be an UBI organized and financed by the EU through sort of income of the EU, or is the idea that every member state would be responsible for it? Because again, this would make a huge difference which approach is taken. Thank you.
Should I respond to these three questions?
Please, Klaus. We are
Okay.
listening to you.
The first one, UK. We have got from Annie Miller, which you know perhaps, and the question if they could at least until the end of this year support our ECI by signatures. And I have said, I don't know. I ask the EU Commission. And I make a question to the EU Commission. And by the way, the administrative peoples in the ECI team in the Commission are very quick. I always get 1 day later an answer if I make an email. So also for that email, I got the answer, no, it is not possible, but because Brexit is already guilty, and therefore it's already realized more or less, and so they cannot sign our ECI. That was one question. I hope I have answered. The next was the high enough thing. We have in our EU rules a certain method how we can, as a threshold for the poverty line, define in each country. And the high of the monthly high of the income would depend on this threshold. And that is certainly different in all countries. Even if there is a country with low incomes, then we have a second method, not only with this 60% of the median threshold rules, but with a basket of goods. And this, in this case, it would be more useful for people with lower income to use such a basket, and then to research which money must be given that the life and dignity is possible in this country. So this is the second answer. And the finance of the ECI will of the UBI will not be given by the European Union, what would certainly very nice, but it is no chance to get it in this way. It is the national government's task after the recommendations are given that they should introduce unconditional income in this guideline, in this recommendation, then they have to discuss in their parliaments how the finance should be done. Because we have different methods, even in the country itself, different methods, and that is certainly a discussion which really is the point in, if it is the point to introduce it, where this has to be clarified.
Thank you, Klaus. Eva Maria would like to ask a question or a contribution. Eva Maria?
Yes, yes, thank you. I would like to add something to Klaus' words that in Great Britain, I think half of it foreigners and most of them from the EU. So I think we can collect some signatures with our British activists. Thank you.
Thank you, Eva Maria. Any other friends who would like to contribute? or ask questions. I'm checking the screens. Oh, Reinhard, Reinhard?
Yeah, I just want to respond to Klaus. I mean, I don't know whether it's good to have a discussion, and you may have already had a discussion about it. I mean, Paris proposed a sort of Euro dividend type of UBI, and I think there's a lot to be said for a UBI paid by the EU and financed by the EU, because the EU is struggling to have their own tax income. And as I said, the identification with the EU would be much stronger with EU citizens if the UBI would come from the EU rather than from the individual states. So that is my, I mean, strategic suggestion, but maybe it's too late to change the viewpoint approach now. Thank you.
Thank you, Reinhard. Barb, dear Barb.
Yeah, hi. Just to say thank you, Klaus. It all looks really good, and I'm looking forward to this. And I certainly will be encouraging all of my EU citizen friends to sign this. Just in answer to Reinhardt's thing, just to say that we did discuss that, and we decided to go for a, you know, partly because of treaties and partly for other ideological reasons. People wanted to have, you know, people wanted to do the ECI this way. Yeah, so that discussion was had about 2 years ago. Yeah, just, you know, good luck. And I look forward to, I wish the ECI every success. And yeah, and I think there's, you know, we will be pushing it here in the UK. There are a lot of, oh yeah, that's one thing I wanted to ask actually. I remember last time there was a problem. There was a problem with people who were living outside their home country with signing. I don't know whether you guys, whether you know whether that's still the case. You know, is it still that people who are living outside their own country, you know, their citizenship country, can they sign the ECI?
In my opinion, and I'm quite sure that it is correct, it is not anymore the case. In the new rules, it is possible from each country that you can sign.
Great. Okay, thank you.
Dear John? Dear John, you are okay.
Thank you, Klaus. I'm just wondering, like there seems, sitting where I am in Canada, that seems such an enormous time lag. When, if everything works perfectly, when could the world expect to see the European Union pushing this or recommending it or whatever the words they will choose to use on the countries in the EU? When could that possibly start?
Yes, can I give you an answer in two ways? The first one is we in Austria have said in parallel to this ECI, we make a Volksbegehren. That is an initiative also for citizens which can give his support for the idea to introduce unconditional basic income in Austria, independent if anybody else will introduce it. And it is in parallel to the European Citizen Initiative, even in the time parallel. Yes? So we have said, for Austria, I say, we have discussed the decision to make it can be done in 1 week, but the implementation takes perhaps 5 years. But the decision is only a political will, yes, and then all these other points have to be clarified in detail. That could certainly also be done with a European Citizens Initiative if the political will is strong enough for such an effect.
Thank you. Dear Klaus, I guess there is no more questions. Can I say a few words about the ECI?
Yes.
Okay, I would like to share something too. In fact, some of you have seen this before, but very quick, I will do it. Okay, here. Okay. Okay, here. Dear friends, this ECI campaign is very, very important. The reason is, this is from a presentation from last year in October 2019. The reason is, there are 27 countries campaigning at the same time. And the population of these 27 countries, or 28, I mean, including UK or not, I mean, it changed, not that much, almost 7% of the world's population. So you are having a campaign in 27 countries and addressing to 7% of the whole world's population, and through a year, all through the year. But one other interesting issue is, in these countries, there are 24 different official languages and more than 60 indigenous languages. So in such a big geography, in such a big number of countries, for such a long period of 1 year, there will be a campaign for UBI in 24 official languages, plus too many other indigenous languages. And all the world will be following this. So if they are successful, it will be good for all the UBI advocacy efforts all around the world. But if they do fail, then we will have problems too. I mean, it will be a reference point, or, I mean, everybody will say that if Europeans didn't like it, what you are talking about? Or if they like it, okay, we can say that, look, you see, they like it, so we should think about it also. So my point is, okay, here, the red one. All the UBI advocates from different corners of the world should act responsibly, share their experiences, ideas, and resources, and contribute to the coming ECI campaign as much as they can for the huge success of it. If they are successful, it will be reflected to us too, I mean, to the whole world. That's my, I would like to add. By the way, Reinhard would like to contribute, Klaus.
Very nice. Thank you very much.
No, thank you, Klaus. Very nice to work with you. Since maybe more than 2 years, we are working.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes, while Ali was speaking, I just got one other question from what you said about, Klaus, about Hungary and the union supporting the last referendum. Does UBIE have a sort of list of political parties or groups in parties and trade unions from the different countries which are supporting UBI? Because I think it would be very helpful if you can contact them early in the referendum campaign, because they can mobilize an enormous number of members. Like I know in Germany, certain political parties and certain trade unions are more in favor than others, or have groups working on UBI, so they may be able to mobilize their members. Thank you.
Yes. If I can give a short answer
Sure.
to you, in the German area, for example, there is an web page, www.ebi-grundeinkommen.de, and if you click there on the material, you find many material, very nice prepared. And that is very useful, and certainly by the new methods of translation, something which you find nice can be translated in your language and used. And the German has that. I have spoken with Ronald Blaschke. Everything is free to make without copyright. Yes, so everybody can use it as you like. Yes.
Thank you, Klaus. I have one thing to add regarding Reinhard's contribution and also Reinhard's question in the chat box. There's a question by Reinhard and mostly from our friends too. Is it possible to share the presentation with our friends? I mean,
yes, certainly.
Okay. The second question is not second question, or it may be a proposal. You see now.
But sorry, Adi. I want to mention we get for this presentation text passages from Janus. which I have used in this, but I'm completely sure that he has nothing against to use this to distribute it. Yes.
It was a media release. It was a press release from Janus.
Yes, exactly.
So it's in the
From
media
there,
already.
I've taken some sentences. Yes.
Okay. No, my point is, you know, since a week, we have a global map of UBI networks. And they are not only networks, but also the research institutions, political parties, any kind of network, any kind of establishment, any kind of structure. So first of all, you can use the existing ones in the map, but also once we reach to these networks, maybe we can ask them to join to the map so that it will be easy. Like what Peter mentioned at the very beginning, can find someone from Denmark suddenly. So,
for example.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Thank you. Dear friends, as far as I see, there is no other contributions and questions. We can continue with our agenda. In our agenda, let me go to this here. So it was yellow, now it's green. We've completed the discussions. And Christian already made a short presentation. Maybe we can hear our dear friend Fabrizio. Fabrizio, okay. Would you like to make a presentation? I mean, a PowerPoint presentation?
No voice.
Now, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, good. Hi, everyone, and thank you, Ali. And no, I don't have any PowerPoint presentations. I will go through the different countries throughout Latin America from which I got an answer from. And I can start because, well, for everyone to know, maybe you don't know, the Latin American Universal Basic Income Network was willing to participate in the campaign, in the Simultaneous campaign. However, every country has had their own issues and situations. So as a joint network, it was not possible. So we proposed individual local campaigns, and we got different answers. So I would start from southernmost part to the northern, and I will skip Brazil and Chile. I know they have confirmed their participation on their own, so they didn't communicate through the network itself. I won't mention those two. So Argentina and Uruguay, they are at the moment in very delicate political situations, which means that the people who are working for universal basic income are involved in many other things, and they are not able to participate in the campaign as such, but they will replicate any message from the network, from the worldwide network, and from the European Union especially, and the Latin American. They will replicate to their people and to make more wider the communication. That's Uruguay and Argentina. They're expecting us just to send them information and details on the campaign, and they will share it on their own media and website and so on. Then there's several countries which don't have a network yet: Paraguay, Bolivia, Peru, and Ecuador. So those 4 countries, Peru, Bolivia, and Paraguay, they're not participating at all. They are not part of the network yet. However, Ecuador, we have an interesting participation from Ecuador by Alberto Acosta, and he's also part of the so-called Eco-Social Pact from the South. You might have heard of it. And this is an initiative, very wide, very holistic, trying to promote a new socio-economic system. This is a campaign also worldwide from the South, of course, and they're willing. One of their proposals is a universal basic income, and they're willing to participate as the pact, as this organization or initiative. They're willing to participate in the campaign. They're also expecting. They're only waiting for the logo and the slogan and the information we share with them, and they will start communicating the campaign. Only communicating because in their case, of course, there's no specific country, so they don't have a signature campaign on their own, but mostly is promoting and proposing the global call for universal basic income, more or less. Now, in the case of Colombia, Colombia again has very heavy issues at the moment, politically speaking. They have a campaign on their own ongoing since I think March, April. They have a proposal in the parliament. So Colombia is again out of the picture right now for this campaign specifically, but they have their own. And I guess throughout the year they will be going back to us and to the ECI, because at the moment I don't know if you have seen the news, but they're having strong protests and people dying on the streets and so on. So it's a harsh moment for them. Now Costa Rica will be joining, and I'm speaking from Costa Rica, by the way. Sorry, I didn't say that. Costa Rica will be joining with our own campaign. We decided to do it differently. We will be starting with a communication campaign, simultaneous to the European one. But farther down the road, since it's a whole year, we will be most likely transforming it into a signature campaign. We have the option in Costa Rica to do something similar to Europe as a citizen initiative or proposal. So we need to get 5% of the electoral registry to have a law proposal, and this is what we're planning to do later on next year, still to be defined. The same with Guatemala. Guatemala will be also joining. It's not on the map yet, but they will be joining with their own campaign. In Guatemala, we have very interesting possible partners, including Oxfam Guatemala, and there's the Institute for Economic Studies, and they will be doing their own campaign for the country. And finally, Mexico. Well, I'm skipping some countries again within, especially Central America, the Caribbean, which is not yet very much participating in the network. And in Central America, the other countries have no network yet. And Mexico, they have their own campaign going since a couple of years already, mostly moved by the CEPAL. And they won't be joining this campaign specifically at the moment. They will probably be, they're also expecting only from us the information. They will share it, but they won't be doing their own Mexico located campaign. And I guess that's it from me. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fabricio. I try to take notes, but if you can kindly send a small list, it will be great.
I will tomorrow, yeah.
Okay. Any questions to dear Fabricio or any contributions? I'm checking the hands and none. Okay. Fabricio, thank you very much. Maybe we can have discussions at the very end also, I mean, during the agenda item 4 regarding the starting point of this concept. But at this stage, there isn't any question to you. Dear Shobana, I saw that you were here. Okay, you are here. Dear Shobana, will you be presenting any PowerPoint presentation?
Yeah, I would like to share.
Okay, so word is yours. Shobana,
So,
okay.
An issue.
No, please go ahead.
Okay. So in India, actually, we have a vast majority of population. We have 1,366 million population, and we have diverse problems also, and many challenges facing the country. And so the implementation of universal basic income also has its own constraints and challenges. And this basic income has been a proposal for by different campaigners and by different NGOs and by researchers also. I was a part of this campaign since 2009. I initiated my own NGO called Right to Income, and I was publicizing this concept as every individual and the citizen of the country has the right to eat and they have the right to income also. So I was just doing some researches and I was writing to the leaders so far. Now I'm very happy to be a part of this worldwide campaign. And now the campaign is starting along with everyone on 25th. But
Dear Shavana.
I'm sorry, there is some network issues yesterday and for the last 2 days. So actually we have some problems like the severe poverty line indication itself has its own problem. And actually almost 1/3 of the population is below poverty line. And these are the justification we are planning to present in front of the government. And we have 3 different types of poverty line. And so far, the proposals that have come already was not even a minimum amount that will be enough for a person to live. So already we have faced different proposals. Many have given some proposals, but the proposals was not enough for anybody survive even. So we have been actually explaining about this justification because everyone has a right to live with a decent income. So the proposal that we have presented so far and I'm drafting now is based on the poverty line and based on the per capita income. So based on the per capita income, under 2 method, we are just choosing only the Atlas method. Below that, I have fixed the amount as 10,000 rupees. Okay, so this is a model that I have prepared and I have proposed to the country. And also based on this analysis, we have different types of poverty line. The country has a poverty line so far actually
Shavana?
poverty.
Shavana,
Yes,
there was a disconnection once again. Okay, we would like to hear the details about your campaign. Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry. So propose actually so far once I joined over these 3-4 months, I have been giving number of lectures in different places and I have mobilized a lot of people through the campaign, my lectures, and a lot of youth has come forward and we have formed a very good WhatsApp group and we have near 29 states and more than 6 union territories. So we have formed representatives from each state and each states have come out with their own representatives. And each representatives are for the time being now preparing a 1 full day webinar. On 27th, we have planned for a full day webinar from early morning till late night, half an hour and 1 hour for each state. We are going to have a series of webinar. That is the start of the first campaign. And during my lectures till now, I found a few of the leaders who are already interested in basic income and they were very much impressed by my lectures and they wanted to form a committee and they are willing to make this as a proposal in the finance ministry so that they can just think about preparing a committee for forming a ministry under the government of India and that ministry can work out some strategies, and that can work out. Sorry, gets disconnected. So in addition to this, we have got a very advantageous situation by the UNDP proposal. UNDP has given the temporary basic income proposal for the pandemic, and that also we have included in the proposal, and we are submitting to the government. And in addition, all the state representatives are ready now to submit their letters, individual letters, to their own local administrations. And that was one of the proposals that we have decided to do throughout this 1 year. And we are planning to
Oh. Dear Shabana, you are again disconnected. Would you please concentrate to the campaign? I mean, and because the agenda is regarding the campaign.
Okay. Okay, so the signature campaign we started, but the change.org is also not a non-profit organization. And so the genuinity of the change.org is also in question. So we decided to have our own platform to collect the signatures. Am I audible? Okay. So we have decided to collect the
I guess she's again disconnected.
Can I propose something?
Please.
Yeah, maybe Shivana could write an email with a summary of what she's proposing or she's presenting, and then might be...
Okay, that's all. I'm just going to wind up with this, just to this one screen. Okay. So am I audible? So actually during this period, we are going to create awareness among the whole population of the country through the youngsters. So the youngsters are going to be used as volunteers to give publicity for this concept. So thank you very much for giving the time and for patiently listening. Thank you very much. Because I get a lot of disturbance, I'm trying to wind up. Thank you.
Shabana, thank you very much. We are trying to follow your activities. A lot of things is ongoing in India. Thank you very much. Where is the agenda? Okay. So after Shabana, any questions or any contributions? As far as I see, none. Dear Gerdur is with us or not? I'm not sure. Gerdur, are you with us?
She said, Ellie, she said in a note that she couldn't make it, but she'll watch the recording.
Okay. I guess Hoda is not with us too. We can continue with Yanu. Dear Yanu, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, we would like to hear the campaign of yours and starting by 25th.
Right. Thank you, Ali. Hey all, I'm Yanu from Indonesia. So I already sent to the chat room the link to our campaign, but maybe I can also share on the website if you make me able to share my screen, Ali.
You can do.
Right. Let me try. I cannot share my screen.
But you are co-host, so you can. Please.
But it's okay. Oh yeah, I mean like I don't know what happened in my computer, but okay, I just start sharing. So we put the campaign or the petition on our website, indobig.net. So why we use website? Because we want to promote our website as well. Because we put all information in Bahasa, in Indonesian language in our website. So we want to people reach out our website while they also sign in their support to UBI. And we put the petition on the page in our website. And also we put the map that Alice and the teams already made explaining about the simultaneous campaign in across countries. So we put all together there. We already started the trial since August 30. So we got like 115 signatures right now. But since this morning, we want to make this larger support. So we start to put the Facebook ads. So we pay for the Facebook ads. We'll be posting this campaign on our Facebook page. And then for a week from now, we will, the Facebook will help us to get some targeted audience to get the petition and sign their support. We'll see if this work well. If it's work well, then we will continue to, finding the potential signature through Facebook ads. But we also keep trying to reach out people to the social media, Instagram, and also in WhatsApp group and people to people. So the idea is to get attention from the government and also to make decision that they will implement basic income scheme very soon. And also we have some coalition with non-government organization and some other partners that we are working on our modeling and our working papers and policy brief at the same time. So maybe next month in October, we'll publish our working papers and policy brief about the model specific for Indonesia, as well as with these signatures going. So it will be some good progress next month. That's maybe from me. Just visit the link in the chat room. Thank you, Ali.
Thank you very much, Yano. Any questions, dear friends, to dear Yano? I
Ali,
can't see any.
you.
Maybe we can hear dear John. John Mills.
Thanks, Ali.
Yeah.
In Canada, we will be going forward. Right now, I am working with some network affiliates and people that I know to help me try and decide what platform to use to collect the signatures on. I'm going to be working with quite a few people over the next 2 days and hope to have some sites set up by the 24th so that we can launch on the 25th with the rest of the world. So it's a work in progress, but it's moving along quickly, and there's lots happening in Canada too, which helps push this kind of thing. We have a throne speech for a new session of Parliament coming tomorrow, and the governing party's caucus has asked the party to put basic income at the top of its priority policies. So we're expecting at least some mention of basic income in the throne speech, and it won't be implemented, but at least it will be a step forward for sure. So going forward, we've got a growing network of networks in Canada, and we are increasingly becoming in touch with each other. So I think once we launch it, we will gather signatures rather quickly.
Thank you, John. I guess you are finished. Okay, thank you. Any questions to dear John? I can't see any hands. So let me share the agenda once again. Okay. We had the chance to hear Yanu and John. Gerdur and Hoda is not with us today, but Gerdur and Hoda, I know that they are working on this project. And Bruno and Gabriela from Brazil and Chile, they are not with us today too. So the blue ones are the ones we couldn't hear because they are not with us. Dear friends, I would like to say a few words regarding the Turkey's position in this campaign, but let me merge these two, the starting point of the concept of working group number 53 and our position. So I will try to very quickly, because I would like to have a long discussion. I mean, I would like to hear your ideas about this concept. Let me stop sharing this and let me start sharing something else. So, dear friends, in Turkey, we will use two tools to collect signatures and likes. We will use Facebook and change.org. Our target is the NGOs, non-governmental organizations, all kind of societies, foundations, etc., and political parties. What we ask from them within our petition is that we want political parties to put UBI into their party programs. And also, similarly, we are asking from NGOs to start doing activities regarding UBI. For example, if it's a philanthropy organization, we are saying that, okay, if you are a philanthropy organization, you should support this and you should be a part of this UBI movement. So our target is existing all kind of networks, let's say, let's put it this way. And similar to our global map of UBI networks, we are planning to have a map of NGOs and political parties who would like to discuss this issue. Not only for UBI, they may be against UBI, but the idea is to ask them to join the discussion. So there will be a map too. So the map is not only a slide, but it's also the starter of communication between the parties. So as a summary, in Turkey, we will use two tools, Facebook and change.org, and our target is NGOs and political parties. We will consolidate them in a map, I mean, the ones who would like to discuss basic income. But I would like to talk about working group number 53 very quickly, the simultaneous independent signature collection campaigns for UBI. This working group worked a lot during the last 3 months. And why simultaneous campaigning? I mean, it's in addition to the solidarity, there's also mutual benefits of UBI networks. And there are some of the goals of this project are to prove and exhibit that. First, UBI is a very important and very hot issue all over the world. So we can say that we are campaigning here in Turkey, but at the moment, there are, let's say, 30 more countries campaigning for similar wishes or similar petition texts. And also, pandemic-related new era is even increasing the vital importance of the concept. So we would like to use this potential as much as possible. And also, we would like to, as I said at the very beginning, we would like to show that the campaigns are being executed in many countries. And the number of supporters and number of signatures are really big, so that people will understand that it's not like a joke or it's not something utopic. It's something realizable, and many people are in communication, interaction, and collaboration, and they are campaigning for UBI. The characteristics or the details of the project are all national campaigns are independent. Only common issue is that they should be for UBI. All national teams can decide about their campaign title and subject matter of their campaign, so no problem. And national teams will decide about their platform. They can use change.org or Avaz or Facebook, whatever. It may be a signature collection or it may be a collection of likes. It's not a problem. The issue is We want to spread the idea. We want to create public awareness. And the campaigns do not have to be a brand new campaign. It may be an ongoing campaign or a continuation of an old existing campaign. And also symbolically, we would like to start at the same date, 25th of September, at the same date with the ECI UBI campaign. There are already 27 countries. I mean, maybe we have 23 coordinators in 23 countries, but the campaign will start all around EU, so 27 countries is campaigning there. We can say 27 easily. And of course, some countries can even join after 25th of September, no problem. And the period is 1 year. What we will do is we will prepare monthly intermediate results of the campaigns. And also during the campaign period, we can have some international or regional or even worldwide common events. It may be a collaborative event for UBI. So the idea is to use this period, I mean the pandemic period, as much as possible, and to use the existing tools like the global map of UBI networks, the record book of UBI advocates, our email group, our bi-weekly meetings, I mean, our survey studies, and there are too many infrastructural projects. Based on these infrastructural projects, we would like to campaign at as many countries as possible. Here is a slide. The red ones are the ones which are joining to the campaign as a part of working group number 53. The blue ones are ECI UBI campaigns. So 27 blue ones and 10 more worldwide, 10 more from working group number 53. It makes 37. But I would like to, okay, you can see that this is the slide we will start to share tonight. Last 3 days, starting on 25th of September 2020. So we have last 2 days, last 1 day, and then we will start on Friday. The summary is here. The 10 countries, as of this morning, 7 said yes. Costa Rica, Iceland, India, Indonesia, Norway, South Africa, and Turkey. Brazil, Canada, Chile.
Ali?
Yes.
Ali?
Yes.
Did you think you're sharing your screen? Because we're not seeing your screen.
Oh, really? Yeah, I think, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, this was my
Thanks,
screen.
that's better.
Yeah, thank you very much, John. So this was regarding Turkey, Facebook and change.org. Target is the NGOs and political parties, and we will create a map of the NGOs and political parties who would like to discuss. They don't have to be for UBI. So this is regarding the working group number 53. The solidarity and mutual benefits is important. We have to use this pandemic period as much as possible. And we have to show that UBI is a very, very hot issue and a very, very important issue all around the world. Everywhere people are campaigning for it in many countries. So it will be good. It will create synergy. And also it will be interesting for the media, because when we do something in Turkey alone, then they do not capture it. But if you say that, oh, there are similar activities in these countries, then it's more attractive to the media. So these are the reasons why we are campaigning this year especially. We are trying to prove and exhibit that UBI advocates and networks are in communication, interaction, and collaboration. And this is not a utopic something. It is something realizable. And here are the characteristics: independent for UBI. Every national team will decide their title and subject matter of their campaign. The platforms are, they will choose themselves. I mean, it's not a common platform. It may be a new or an ongoing campaign, or even it may be a continuation of an old existing campaign too. Symbolically, we would like to start on 25th of September together with the ECI UBI. I can share these slides. I'm sorry that while talking they were not here. The countries, the campaigns can join even after 25th of September, no problem. The period is 1 year. We will share monthly intermediate results of the national campaigns. In fact, it will be like a very sweet competition between the countries too. So we will put the population, so number of supporters, the percentage of them. So it will be good. Maybe we can trigger some national feelings also to be in the first one in the race. They can put more signatures. And also during the campaign period, we will try to have international, regional, or worldwide common events. This is the map of the 10 countries, the red ones, and the ECI UBI campaigns, 27 countries, the blue ones. So this is the last 3 days starting on today, no, on Friday. We will start sharing this beginning after this meeting. And this is the summary page. The 10 countries are here. 7 of them said that they will join. So they are about to start. They are almost ready with their campaign platform and campaign link, etc. Brazil, Canada, and Chile, they are quite positive, very positive, as you heard from John Mills too. Hopefully they will be on board before 25th or maybe few days after 25th, no problem. The simultaneous accompanying ECI UBI countries are here. Also Klaus mentioned them. If additional countries, networks would like to join, they are more than welcome. I can share the link of course again, because we shared it previously in the Google group, but maybe it's difficult to find it. I can share it again. So we would like to see more countries with campaigns. It will help to create public awareness, and it will help to develop or expand your network in your country. And we will have monthly, intermediate, cumulative, and comparative results as a table. And there is also, another working group working on the web page. It will be announced there, and also it will be announced at the Google groups. So please give us support and try to have more countries campaigning during this period, so we can have more attraction, we can have more public awareness. Thank you. I am sorry that I'm very sorry that I forgot to share it at the very beginning. Thank you, John Mills. So, any questions, contributions?
Yeah, I have one.
Fabio, please.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the presentation, Ali, and for the work in general. So just to be clear, basically the map, let's say the empty map with no text, is kind of what we're going to use as the logo. So it's kind of the background that we're going to use in our campaigns is what because what I'm missing, my question also goes into the logo missing. There's no logo for the global campaign as such, or slogan in any of the pictures. So I was wondering if there's any. I mean, yeah.
Dear Fabio, all the national campaigns are independent, so they will not have their. They will use their own logos, but to have a common slide, we will use the map.
Okay.
So there are the points. There was. Okay, that's all I can say at the moment. But we are not doing a global campaign. We are doing national campaigns in different countries. But we are doing it simultaneously and independently with our own logos, own subject matters, and own titles. So, okay. I mean, because otherwise, global basic income, something like this, can be. It's a different issue.
Okay, good. No, I just meant because, as we said at some point, having this same wording or this similar, visual. Campaign might give force to the global initiative, not the global universal basic income, but the global discussion of universal basic income, let's say. But anyway, I guess what you answered is the map will be this image that will put together the different campaigns somehow. I would also like to say that maybe after 1 week, we can add, because Guatemala and Ecuador somehow will be joining. So after 1 week, we can add as, some kind of communication saying we have more people joining already after just 1 week, although they're already into it somehow.
It
But
will be,
I was.
it will be great.
Yeah, just saying, because yeah, that would be, I guess that would be a nice message to see. Yeah, that's so, and there's no slogan either. I mean, the one you will be using is the one universal basic income now, basically, right?
Yeah, I guess it was the decision. I cannot find it right now, but yeah, there was something like this, but I will find it.
Okay, it's just because some of the people in the Latin American area are waiting to see the European message, and just wanted to confirm that. I can just tell them.
If Fabrizio,
yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm talking too much, but the only common point here is all the campaigns are for UBI. For example, the South Africa case is not 100% fulfilling the UBI expectations. I mean, if you check with the definition at the BM webpage, it's not fulfilling 100%, but it's again still in this direction. So they are welcome.
Okay, good. Thank you. Good. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Dear Eric, please.
Yeah, hello to everybody. I have a question to Klaus, a concrete question. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard that how old have you in Austria? How old do you have to be to participate at the petition? How old? I heard that in Austria you can already vote if you are 16. Is this correct, or am I correct, or am I wrong? I'm not sure about this, but I think it's somewhere I heard it's the only country in Europe where you can vote with 16. Is this correct or not? Please give me an answer for that question. I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you. You have to unmute.
Please unmute yourself, dear Klaus.
Yes, you are right. For Austria, it is 16. But the EU Commission has given to all national parliaments, after the new rules of the ECI was created, the possibility to reduce the age for each of the countries to 16.
For all the countries. For all the countries is 16.
Only those countries who want to have it reduced to 16.
I see.
The right to do it is given rules, but not all countries have done it.
I see. Interesting, interesting point. I mean, it's because maybe quite a lot of people, you know, it's 2 years, you know, but
because we have for now in the climate Friday for Future, yes.
Yes.
These are young people, and they are very concerned about the climate crisis, but they should also, in the same time, be concerned about the social problems. So if we combine social and ecological things for a transition in a better world, it would be nice. And that are the young people. They are. Should do it with 16 years already.
Yes, just one comment, Klaus. I personally disagree with 16. But this is only my personal opinion. I think you should be 18 to vote as an adult person and not 16. But this is my personal opinion. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Reinhard, I can see you are raising hand. Reinhard, please.
Yeah, I just have a question for you, Ali. In your presentation, you said you want to contact parties and civil society or NGO groups. I wonder whether it would be useful to contact religious groups or religious organizations as well. They may have a strong interest, or is there a deliberate reason why religious groups are excluded? Thank you.
Dear Reinhard, I didn't say that we are excluding them. Maybe I didn't mention them. The issue is we have to create networks of networks. I guess a friend also used this term before me today. So religious groups are also in our radar. But the very interesting or very sensitive issue is if you get in contact with a religious group, we have to get in with all of them, maybe at the same time. And maybe also we have to mention them that we are also in contact with the others too. So we should not introduce any privilege to one religion, but under equal conditions. Of course, we have to get in contact with all kinds of networks. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a community or a network. So we are not excluding, but maybe I didn't name it at this stage.
May I?
Sure. Eduardo, I'm sorry, I couldn't see.
Well, I have sent to you by email the words of Antonio Guterres today at the Assembly of the United Nations. At a certain point, he says that in French, this part, l'inclusion implique d'investir dans la cohésion sociale et de mettre fin à toutes les formes d'exclusion, de discrimination et de racisme. Elle suppose de mettre en place une nouvelle génération de politiques de protection sociale, comprenant notamment la couverture sanitaire universelle et la possibilité d'un revenu minimum universel. So in English, this supposes put in place a new generation of social protection policies that covers not especially the sanitary coverture in universal form and the possibility of a universal minimum income. So this is part of the speech of Antonio Guterres, the Secretary General of the United Nations, today, this morning. And well, just a word about Brazil. Bruna is not there. So I would like to express that on the 21st of July, it was formed in Brazil, the Parliamentary Front in Defense of the Basic Income. And 220 federal deputies and senators are part of this front. And in the State Assembly of São Paulo last week, of the 81 state deputies, 21 formed the Parliamentary Front in defense of the basic income, and many candidates are now saying that many candidates for the next election that will happen for mayors and city councilmen and city women, they are expressing their view in favor of the basic income. Particularly myself, I am one of the main topics of my personal campaign. I will be again a city councilman candidate. Of course, I'm every day speaking in favor of the basic income. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Eduardo. Thank you for the good news. By the way, in the chat box, I shared 4 files. The first 2 of them are the presentations I used during this meeting, and also a PDF file from our dear friend Eduardo Suplicy. Eduardo, you sent me the message of Antonio Guterres, and I shared it in the chat box.
Okay, thank you very much.
And also I shared the slide regarding the simultaneous campaigns too. One thing is, dear friends, when you save the chat box, it is saving only the text. If you want to have these files in your computer, you have to download them. I mean, the chat box save option doesn't include the files. That's what I would like to say. Any other friends who would like to say anything regarding the past presentations or other issues regarding the last week? By the way, we should thank Ingun Grande. Dear Ingun, thank you. I just saw that you already sent a message to Denmark and trying to find the ECI coordinator for the ECI UBI. If nobody is saying anything, maybe we can ask Peter the current situation of the map. How is it? How many countries, how many networks?
Well, if you allow me to share screen, we have 183, I believe, marks on the map. There are a few corrections to be made that Ali is working on, and just a minute, let me share this. Share. Okay, tell me if you can see it.
Yes.
So you see, we're doing better than we were. Australia is no longer a blank spot on the map, and we have China and South Korea, Japan, and of course in Europe and vicinity, there are many in North America and South America. If you want to consider the parts where we really need to get new members, in fact, I just wrote to one of the original supporters of UBI in Iran, who said he was going to contact people and see if he can do it. So I have some contacts in Iran, and we have Turkey and Iran, but sub-Saharan Africa, there are only two, one of which I reached out to on Facebook, and we need more in Africa and parts of Latin America, northern Venezuela, Colombia, Peru, Bolivia, Ecuador, and that will just make it look even more impressive. So we urge you, if you know people, you can write to them or call them. That would be great. I guess we now have built into it the message that the origin of the map, that's a project of worldwide meetings of UBI advocates and UBI networks at the bottom of the map. And the same map, of course, I mean, the same comes on the clustered map. We say clustered with labels. When I say labels, it's see if you actually go into you'll see that there's already a label on them once you get past the cluster. But the purpose is to maybe give an idea more about the relative density, and then to actually see the names when you zoom in. And then of course, when you go on one, this one, for example, you'll get the full information. So I guess that's the situation. Ali's been working hard on putting it together. I put them up when he gives me a new spreadsheet, and we'll try to keep it updated as much as possible. And there's no need to update the URLs or these are the code for the two maps. You can just copy it and paste it into a website, depending on the style of website, either directly into the HTML code, or in like Wix, you're able to insert the code, even though you can't see the rest of the code of the site. So it depends on the platform. And again, the link for registering networks. I'm using an example from how to incorporate it on a site, being the site of Sufficiency for Sustainability, but of course the regular site is there. I have it here because I do not have a dark background, so that you can see easily the name of the new trademark, shall we say. All right, I think that's all I need to say.
Dear Peter, can you make a zoom to the European area while Klaus is here and our friends from ECI are here?
You want to zoom in on Europe?
In Europe, yeah, because 183 networks, I think from Europe area, maybe, yeah, I mean, when you come close, you see more dots. Yeah. So these all may be, I mean, you can all get in contact with all of them and try to receive their support during the ECI UBI.
Yeah, well, that's why I mentioned, I already put in the chat the link for Denmark, but it's there in the map. You can go and in Malta also, there was, I think this is Malta, yes. So I put that in, all the people who are organizing can make use of these links immediately. If they don't know a person, there's an email for each of the networks that have registered. But we don't have one for Latvia or Poland at the moment. As we zoom in, I couldn't find one. They're very close. Lithuania, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania is only there. And then, of course, even in the little enclave of Russia here, our friend Alex Soloviev has found somebody, so, or an organization. So Russia's well represented now in various groups. Ukraine, Russia, Georgia, Romania. Hungary. Eastern Europe is filling in with it, Czechia. So we can hopefully we'll get a few of these additional ones. So a great deal of progress has been made in the last week.
Okay. Thank you very much, Peter. Any friends who would like to ask or contribute to Peter's words? I guess not. I would like to say one thing, Peter. 183 networks from 51 different countries. It's quite good figure. And this is excluding the ones which are worldwide. And excluding the worldwide networks, there are 51 networks from 51 different countries at the moment. Okay. Dear friends, according to our agenda, we would like to hear news from UBI networks and UBI advocates, especially regarding the last week. Any friend who would like to say anything? None, as far as I see. Maybe Luke. Luke, please.
Yes, we've had quite a lot of events in Quebec last week. I think it's 13 or 15 altogether. One of them is a sort of emulation of Ali's work. We've had, I think, the first international meeting in French. So that's we were trying to emulate a bit Ali with his meetings. And Peter participated in it, Lena from Brazil, and people from France and Switzerland, of course. And a friend of Ali's, a member of his organization, Ilhami, has been there too. So that was the main thing concerning us all during that week. But otherwise, we had there's 6. If you understand French, there's 6 videos on Facebook on the events that we've held, or 7, in fact, 7, one a day. And so we've been very, very active last year, last week. It was the first such eventful week for us. We've been having activities since 2014, but we've never had that many things going on during the week. That's it.
Thank you, Luke. Maybe Olaf would like to say it. Olaf and then Klaus. Please, Olaf.
Yes, thank you very much. regarding the basic income march. We had one in Berlin in person, but we have to report that while it was well organized, only about 60 up to 80 people were present in Berlin, which compares to over 300 last year. So we did not quite expect the numbers to go down that much. It was very well organized. We had many different items to show, much more billboards and signs than we could get people to show them off. So we're now considering what to do for next year, and whether the COVID pandemic was now cause of the numbers going down. Actually, we thought the numbers were going up due to COVID, because the pressure, the urgency of the topic of basic income has now risen. But the other thing was true, and now we're trying to analyze this, and we're already in November convening to get a basic income March 21 off the start, and organize it next year even better.
Thank you very much, dear Olaf. Dear Klaus? Klaus, you are muted. Please unmute yourself.
Yes, concerning this march, Ali had made an attempt, said we have photos showing our shoes, said in principle we would be on the march virtual at least. So I think at least 20 or 30 people has given it in this picture her shoes when they are virtually going in Berlin.
Thank you, Klaus. Can I share two things? First of all, regarding the activity of Dear Luke. Dear Luke, I am sorry. That day, you remember, I had sent you a few UBI advocates who are speaking French, and one of them was Ilhami. And Ilhami shared the link with me, but it was the link of the panelist, not the, so after our working group meeting, I said, I better go and listen them. I just joined the Zoom meeting. I was in the middle of the panel discussion. Because normally in Luke's meeting, the people who are panelists are in the screen. The others are just hearing and listening and watching, but they are not in the screen. So I suddenly figured out that I'm extra there, and I left the room. So this is one thing. Secondly, I would like to, after Klaus mentioned, I would like to say one thing. Regarding the, you remember in our last meeting, Alexander Darrow made a presentation, and during his presentation, he mentioned about the difficulties regarding the basic income march because of the COVID. And then Claudia mentioned that we can do something in the computer, and we prepared something like this. And the meetings held on Saturday was quite crowded. There are too many photos in our hands, but I guess we need several more days to work on them and to prepare something. Our idea is to have something like a film with these, and on the film maybe we can put the music, and also we can put some sayings. You remember the guy standing's video recording with the massive attack? Maybe we can do something like this. But we have a lot of photos with shoes, and maybe more than 35, 40 countries. So we will use them, and we will merge them to prepare a video. But we need time. Maybe in a week time, it will be ready, hopefully. Klaus, please.
Yes, in addition to this International Basic Income Week, for example, in Austria, we had about 20 different events and panels and films and so on. So it was a very, very busy week, and the awareness for the unconditional basic income was very much increased in that time.
Dear friends, I have two proposals. I see some of our friends who were missing during the basic income march, I mean, in the Zoom based. Maybe you can join today with something like this, and we can take a photo. And also in the chat box, I see a message from dear Fru Cheng from China. Maybe she, if I'm not mistaken, maybe she can tell more detail about what she wrote in the chat box, so we can learn more about China. Dear Fru Cheng, did you see her message in the chat box?
Yes.
Okay, she is not convenient, but let me read the chat box for the ones who cannot read. China is closely pay attention to the UBI activities, and more professors from universities begin to advocate cash transfer directly to the bottom, not through the bureaucrats, because of the possible corruption. Okay, interesting. Thank you very much, Furu. Maybe we can hear you in one of our future meetings. Anybody would like to join?
Yes, I would like to join.
A little bit down, a little bit down.
No, I'm
maybe
joining
Luke
in.
and Olaf, maybe Eduardo also. Eduardo, you should be in
Hello.
this film.
You have to use a
Yeah.
shoe.
Yeah, from the side only, not the bottom.
Please join.
Eduardo, we can wait for you if you want to take a shoe with you.
We are waiting for your shoe.
Oh, he has slippers, I guess.
I think this will be a slipper party.
Yeah, Yeşim is here. Okay, welcome, Yeşim. Oh, Ingun, very nice. So Luke is here. 1 second.
Yeah, you got it.
So,
Oh.
Eduardo, please down. Yeah, so that we can see you too.
Yes.
Okay. 1 second. Let me put into the paint and be sure that it is there. So Eric is here, Eduard is here, Olaf is here, Reinhard, we have yours, but this is another one. Ingun, Luke, Yeşim. Okay, Şobana, she did a lot. I mean, she gave a huge support.
Yeah, I've only got one pair of sandals, so I always have to use the same.
Yeah, I remember. Okay, anybody has anything interesting from their country regarding the Basic Income Week?
Did you show your shoes too as well?
Eduardo, we did maybe 6-7 such sessions. So ours are already recorded.
Okay.
I mean, would you like to let me show you? Maybe we have about 50, 60 or even more. Can you see, Eduardo?
Yeah. Okay.
So Mihaela, Gerdur, Şobana, Paul Harnett, Robin, let me find mine. Okay, here is mine.
Oh yeah, fine.
Okay, thank you. No, we are completing the collection. Klaus, may I say something regarding the ECI also once again?
Yes, you like. Yes, certainly.
Okay. Dear friends, ECI UBI campaign is very, very interesting. I'm following it very closely because there are many people who are EU citizens who do have roots in Turkey too. So they have relatives and they have business connections. They are having a visit maybe every year during the summertime. So it might be interesting. If the campaign is successful there, then it will have reflections in Turkey too. But secondly, during there's a small coordination team. During the coordination team meetings, a project was developed. And the project is every month, ECI UBI will organize a meeting. Klaus, maybe you tell the first part and I will tell the rest.
Yes, we will have each week a coordination team from about 10 peoples, which think about what is the best possible event which we can make for awareness and so on. And then we have about each month European coordination meeting where we invite all the national coordinators for a virtual meeting, at the moment certainly virtual, and discuss with them all the next steps. And in between, we have always a worldwide meeting, which Ali has mentioned, so that we are not in conflict, but one times this one times the other one, so that we can learn from each other.
Klaus, maybe can I share something in the screen? Okay, maybe not now, maybe I can share in the next meeting. But in these meetings, there is a decision which is about a monthly meeting on third Mondays. It is about the best practices during UBI advocacy.
Yes.
And it will not be only for the ECI coordination team and also ECI national coordinators, but it will be open to whole world.
Yes.
And dear Klaus, I will tell the details tomorrow, but there is an interesting proposal from our dear friend Hannes Mehrer from Germany.
Yes.
There are 3 ladies who were working for big companies in the marketing departments.
Yes.
So they know all kind of marketing tools and strategies. Right now, they are working voluntarily. They are working activists. They are working like an activist. I mean, UBI activist. And as they have too many tools and strategies in their minds from their business life in the past, so we may invite them and we may hear them. And maybe while saying this here, we are also promoting that event, third Monday of October.
Oh, yes.
There will be such a meeting. The name of the meetings are Best Practices During UBI Advocacy.
Yes.
On third Mondays at
yes.
Central European Time, 8 p.m., which is GMT 6 p.m. Yes, GMT 6 p.m. Okay, we will announce it later. If there's a decision at the coordination team, I mean, regarding these ladies, whether to invite them or not.
Yes, fine.
Any other? May I say? Yeah, Shobana, I was planning to ask you because you organized a lot of people in the last few weeks, young guys, and too many networks in 27 states of India.
Yeah.
Would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, I have mobilized a lot of volunteers and networks and NGOs to support this basic income. And we are arranging a lot of lectures, and in turn, we are mentoring them to present lectures in their own places. And so far, a lot of universities are inviting me to give lectures on basic income. So I'm giving subsequently a number of lectures in different places to promote this concept. And so it's happening like that. And so a lot of volunteers have come. We have prepared a beautiful song also for UBI. Nearly 3 songs have come out, and 1 song is excellent. And all of you can use that. I can share that song with all of you. And in your countries, you can use it. It is an English song only. And actually, if we have a common logo for all the countries, it will be wonderful because we are all in the same boat. It will be like, so it's good to have a common logo. So that's what I'm interested. And one more thing you suggested about the corporate ladies who are very passionate about it. If they are presenting, it will be wonderful, and we can emulate such strategies. Ideas are always good. Thank you.
Yeah. Dear Shabana, I would like to say one thing regarding the logo of the simultaneous independent signature collection campaigns. During the last meeting on Saturday, I think you missed the email and you were not with us. During that meeting, we said we should have a common slide with the global map and the points markers indicating the countries who are joining to this one. So we can use this one. It is also giving an information. So too many dots from different continents. So instead of logo, we use this one. But what we can do is maybe we can put the motto of the campaign in a square. I can't remember the exact words, but we can use that one maybe as a logo. But the idea was to use a common slide for all the campaigns.
Common like UBI now, we suggested UBI now to be
yes.
the common slogan, right? So
yes.
the common slogan can be posted along with the slogan, along in the logo, UBI now. And the number of countries participating also can be specified in the slogan.
Yeah, we can use it on the map also. I mean, as a logo.
Okay, okay.
If you do have anything else to share, please share. Okay. I don't want to talk too much, but can I say a few things to Eduardo? You, Eduardo? Eduardo, can you hear us? I guess you are
Eduardo's on the phone with somebody.
I see. No, he's reading the screen. Eduardo, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Dear friends, I will give brief information to Eduardo, but I would like you hear it too. During the World Congress of Basic Income Earth Network in Hyderabad, Eduardo shared an interesting information. It was about the Francesco meetings organized by Vatican. And it was inviting future promising economists to Vatican, not to the Vatican, but to a small town in Italy. And the idea was to think about the coming future because of the changing business and all. I mean, everything is changing with the technology and other things. So they would like to have a kind of discussion regarding the future. And then when Eduardo mentioned this, during that BN Congress, we studied this meeting and we tried to figure out who are participating in this meeting. Interesting, there are two Nobel laureates, Nobel Prize owners, let's say, and one professor from Columbia University and 12 more from different countries. So there are 14 or 16 speakers during those meetings. And during the Vienna meeting in October, we discussed about this issue. We said we should somehow get in connection with these people, and we should request them to put basic income on the table. During the discussions, basic income should also be considered. And if at the end of these meetings, there will be a final document, we hope, if there's something related to the basic income, then it will be very good. But unfortunately, in fact, we did. We studied all of them. We figured out that 7 or 8 of them are for UBI people from the past. Pardon?
Okay, fine.
Okay. And then we sent emails to them. And maybe you remember these efforts. And to one of the emails on 1st of March, we received a message from an Italian professor. He said that because of the pandemic, the meetings are postponed. And then later on, we learned that it was postponed to November. I am not sure whether the November meeting will be held or not, but maybe this time they will held in maybe Zoom environment or something like this. But we should be concentrating to this group. If there is a result from this meeting for UBI, it may be very, very good for the ECI UBI campaign.
Yes.
I mean, so I prepared every past communication. I mean, I'm preparing a single sheet, a compact one, a resulting one. Thanks, Eduardo, that he informed us about this activity. But we should somehow reach them. For example, Danny Roderick is one of the professors who is in the consultancy team. Jeffrey Shaks is also in the team. And there is a Indian, I can't remember, professor maybe. And there's also an Indonesian professor, Mohammed Yunus, the one who started the microcredit issue. So there are many important people, 16 or 14, I'm not sure. I'm sure we can reach to a certain number of them. But if we can convince them to put UBI on the table during these meetings, and if there's a resulting document with UBI, it will be very good for ECI UBI while promoting the campaign.
Yes, would be very
well,
nice.
let me, the Pope Francisco was organizing a meeting that would be on March 20, last March 20, with the young people of the world, 2,000 young people of many countries. The Italian delegation would be the largest, the Brazilian one, 250 young people up to 35 years old would be there. And in a meeting with Pope Francis, with some very good, well, people like Amartya Sen, Joseph Stiglitz, Muhammad Yunus, and the others that you have mentioned. And this would be a meeting with those people plus the young people of the world. And this would happen in Assis, the Italian city of San Francisco de Assis. And the purpose would be to talk about the economy of Francis. Pope Francis has been calling all countries for them to put into practice those policies that, those economic and social policies that would reach justice so as to have peace in the world. Well, the March 20 was postponed to November 20, but now it was postponed for the next year. However, they will probably have a virtual meeting on November 20, 21, 2 or something like that this year. And they will confirm the meeting for the next year, because there will be a presential meeting when the pandemic of coronavirus has ended, no? And last year, the young fellows of Brazil that were going to this meeting invited me to speak about the basic income. When I finished at the Catholic University of São Paulo, they told me, we want you to be there as well. So I was very happy because I am 79 years of age, but to be together with 35 young people. And so I accepted. I bought the international ticket to Rome, but now it has been postponed. And so in principle, I will be there with them, but I don't know exactly more details. But I'm waiting the news, and so I will be in touch with you, Ali Mutlu, about that.
Dear Eduardo, can I share something in the screen?
Yes.
Okay, here. You see, these are the messages. Can you see now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, these are the messages on 1st of March. Stefano Zamagni, Joan Cardenas, Cecile Leonard, Jennifer, and blah, blah, it goes on like this. For example, there was Amartya Sen and Mohammed Yunus.
Yeah.
And Jeffrey Sachs from Colombia. Peter Knight knows him very well. Kate Raworth, she is also a very interesting professor of economics. For example, typical letter was something like this at that time. My friends and I are universal basic income advocates from different countries. I mean, you can read. I better not read, or I can share it. But at that time, let me stop this and let me find the other one. Okay, here. You see, I sent on 1st of March, or no, 29th of February, to Stefano Zamagni, one of them. I mean, there are, I said, 15 or 16 people, but he mentioned that has been postponed to November this year.
Yeah.
And I thanked him, but November is coming, so maybe we should campaign on them once again. As far as I understand from Eduardo, physical meeting will be held next year, but this year they will have
a virtual meeting. Yeah.
Yeah. So we better discuss this latest in our next meeting, and then maybe I'm sure, for example, the lady, the professor from UK, I didn't know her, but Barb Jacobs said that, oh, I know her, and she knows her past studies, and Barb mentioned that she's for UBI, so we have better get in contact with her. So everybody may know
Kate
somebody.
Raworth?
Pardon?
Kate, are you speaking about Kate Raworth?
Yes, Barb.
Yeah, she's fantastic. Yes, she's very good.
She has a model of
the
donuts model, something like this. Yeah.
Donut Economics is the name of her book.
Exactly, I remember now. But
okay. I'll put the reference to the book in the chat.
That's great. Maybe I can put the link of the event to the chat also.
Okay.
So if we can be well organized, maybe with our connections, we can reach these people. And okay, here is the link I put into the chat box. Oh, okay. Here are the speakers. Stefano Zamagni is the Italian professor. Kate Raworth is here. You can see, I hope.
Yeah.
Mohammed Yunus is here. Amartya Sen is here.
Yeah.
But where is Jeffrey?
Mohammed Yunus.
Okay, Jeffrey is here at the right top.
Yes.
Kate is here. Amartya is here. Mohammed Yunus is here. Stefano is here. So,
is this a new meeting, or when does speakers will speak? When? Where?
Normally in November, but there were more people. Maybe the others didn't confirm their participation. No, they are here. Yeah, they are here. But there are new names.
Yeah.
For example, Jennifer Nedelsky, I don't remember her, and Hamid Ali, I don't remember him too. So, I mean, the team is not the same team. but I put the link in the chat box.
Yes.
We can use it. But the idea is, if there's an organization, and if there are certain people who are going to speak during this organization, maybe we should target these people and convince them to say something during that organization for UBI. I mean,
Yes.
We can do it, I think.
Sure.
Oh, by the way, Peter shared the Donuts Economics, I mean, the book. Okay, Kate Award.
Okay.
Thank you very much, dear friends.
Thank you very much. I have a meeting now at the São Paulo Chamber. So I need to, the São Paulo City Councilman, I need to be there now.
Mm.
Okay. If anyone would like to say anything, more than welcome. But if not, we can close today's session. Peter?
Thank you very much, and see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, Eva Maria. Peter Knight, would you like to say anything?
Yes, I just uploaded the image of the donut. It shows you the safe and secure place for humanity is in the donut. Inside the donut is insufficiency, and beyond it is excess. You can see the picture.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I'm leaving now.
Thank you very much to all of you. Good night, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. Bye-bye.
Oh, very long meetings, but very good. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much.